Hi, my name is Nicole LaSalle, and I'm giving a video essay on what I learned in CMN4105 Ethics in Information Society. I learned a lot about the uses of technology, the ethical implications of technology, and a lot of the theoretical ideologies from Wendell Wallach. But the most prominent takeaway I felt was actually how my peers were using the technologies around me. And I think it was the most prominent takeaway just because I had a generalized idea of how people were using technology, and I felt like it was very much aligned with how I was using technology, but in fact it was very diverse. I tended to overgeneralize how my generation and my peers were using technology, and I figured it was in the same way and same mannerisms, but there was a lot of different uses even on social media and how people were using technology to even pass time. A lot of people would check the news, which is something I wouldn't generally do, and I had assumptions about how my peers used it. So when listening to their class assignments, I found out a lot of my peers actually owned the Alexa at home, which I never thought would be a popular device. Or a lot of my peers were frustrated by the radio, which is something I didn't really think about because it's not something in my day-to-day life. So I learned a lot about how my peers shared frustrations, shared uses with technology, but also had very unique uses for technology. Although people use the same technologies and they use similar applications and similar devices, the uses for each devices are very different from one another, which is interesting when looking at your peers and seeing how each device is so personalized, whereas there was this generalization where I thought each device would be used in a similar way, at a similar time, and for a similar reason, which is completely opposite from what I learned. Outside of my peers, I also learned that there's a lot of fear when it comes to technology and the advancement of technology. But when reading Wendell Wallach's outlooks, you come to understand that there's a lot of risk involved in it. Not a lot of solution, but a lot of risk that should be of more consideration when developing new technologies. And also, not even when developing, but when consuming and purchasing these technologies, having the basic understanding that these technologies may possess a certain risk factor, and as a consumer or as an audience, we should be aware of those risks.